Hello and welcome YouTube. This is Cookie Monster of ProForgeRacing, bringing you the results and highlights of the third official Dirty Racing League tournament. Yesterday we raced the fifth tournament. I usually try and get the results video out right around the time of the next tournament, so I apologize. This one's really late. I've been really busy with Christmas and work lately, so I apologize for that. But this was another great tournament. The first map here is Melted 8 on Meltdown by Whiskey Worm, and the racers in this one were myself, Tripmine 413, Whiskey Worm, Nuked Ice Cream, NJD or XNJD1X, AYMX Famacity, Bean 05, Lukey Wood 08, OD Suzuki, and the notorious and best racer Wasted Duckling 9. But this was a great race. This map is definitely more fun than my map on Meltdown, because Melting Marvels, just because my map was basically just the natural figure 8 and his is a little more, long and stuff. But right here at the beginning of the very beginning, OD Suzuki and Wasted end up going into the man cannon because Bean bounces off Cookie and he pushes Wasted in, and Whiskey breaks, and that causes like Suzuki, who's behind him, to like bounce off Whiskey, and he ends up going in, so that kind of ruined the race for those two. But anyways, right here, Nuked Ice Cream, if you can see this, does a 360 on the lift, which was pretty crazy. There's a jump at the end. Right here, Lukey Wood and Bean are battling it out, and Bean ends up, he takes Lukey into the wall and ends up passing him, which was pretty sweet. Right here, you can see Nuked Ice Cream trying his hardest to take me out, and he fails and hits a wall, which was pretty funny. And right here, there's kind of a double fail, because Whiskey ends up failing to take out me, and he slams into the wall, and then Nuke ends up flipping himself and lets Tripmine pass him right there. So that was pretty funny. Right here, Wasted is being lapped, and he ends up taking out Whiskey and Cookie and allows Tripmine to pass us both. Wasted Duckling is just doing the best he can in last place to mess up the leaders. And anyways, at the end here, we have to wait for a long time for Wasted Duckling, of course. The positions for this one were Tripmine in first, Whiskey Worm in second, Nuked Ice Cream in third, Cookie Monster in fourth, NJD in fifth, AYM in sixth, The Bean in seventh, Lukey Wood in eighth, OD Suzuki in ninth, and of course, Wasted Duckling in 10th. And as you will see, we kind of had to wait here for him for a little while, but he eventually showed up. Eventually. There were so many times when that sort of thing happened. This was the second race on Winding River by myself, Cookie Monster. This was a pretty good race too. A few people did die on this one, but what we do when people die, if it's at the beginning, they just restart. If it's towards the end of the map, they just wait at the start for the person who was ahead of them to go ahead of them, and they go right behind them. And they just finish with 9 points as opposed to 10. Because, it's not fair to make you redo the lap if you're, more than halfway through it, because someone makes you die. But I think right there, if you just saw that there was an explosion, that would be someone dying. But this is a fun map, definitely DRL worthy, as well as the last map, Melted 8. Most of the maps we play are pretty DRL worthy. Right here, Nuked had a huge lead on the first lap, and he ended up flipping in the river, just like the natural terrain ended up making him bounce, and he lost 5 positions, going from first to 6th. Right here, you can see NJD and Whiskey Worm, who are like side by side, but Whiskey ends up flipping, and then Bean flips, and Wasted does like a 180, and he doesn't even end up passing them. Right here, Nuked and Bean are side by side, and Nuke almost flips, and Bean flips over Cookie Monster, I guess. So that was kind of crazy. And right here, Wasted ends up hitting a wall, and Tripmine like destroys him. So oh, I think that's actually right here when he hits the wall. Yeah, right here. Sorry, I was just I was one thing ahead. It was a little bit laggy, especially because I lost the clips for this tournament, so I had to use Whiskey Worm's point of view, because luckily he had saved the tournament. So I'm really thankful for that, but it was a little bit laggy. And right here you can see Nuke. Yeah, right there is where Wasted hits the wall, and Tripmine ended up destroying him. I was just one highlight ahead, I guess, in my review of them. But right here, I think, is when Nuked Ice Cream hits a tree, and he ends up flipping and allows Wasted Duckling to pass him right there at the end, which was pretty funny. The final positions for this one were NJD in first, and this was his first tournament, which was awesome. Then Whiskey Worm, Bean05, AYM Xfamacity, Cookie Monster, Trip Mine, Wasted Duckling, Nuked Ice Cream, OD Suzuki, and Lukey Wood 08. Right there, if you saw how it kind of like reset a little bit, there was a little bit of lag problem, so that's why my theater mode kind of, you know, went to black screen for a second, and it showed the timeline clip. There's really nothing I really could have done to avoid that. It was just because of the natural lag of it. Right here, this is Shattered by myself, Cookie Monster. This is my second Vortex map, and this one was a lot of fun for the tournament. You'll see a lot of chaos, especially around that jump. I ended up moving the jump just a few days ago, I think yesterday actually, and I changed the jump so it's in a better area and it works way better, because where it was, the jump just didn't work. But this was definitely a really fun map, definitely very DRL worthy. Yeah, sorry I was like one highlight ahead in the last one. I think I ended up deleting one of the highlights or something, so I ended up getting ahead of myself. But anyways, right here, Nuked and NJD are battling it out, and they both hit a wall, and they're tied for second. And then Nuked ends up pushing NJD into the wall, and they ended up flipping, which was really kind of awesome. They were just having like such a good battle. And then right here, Tripmine jumps down crazily right there and destroys AYM, because that's a really fast-paced turn, and he just went straight instead of like turning. Right here, AYM and Bean are going at it, and as you can see, they both flip, and then they both keep on kind of going in like the exact same position. Right here, Cookie Monster, myself, I lap Lukey Wood, and I kind of push him out of boundaries and end up killing him, which I felt bad for, but it was funny. Nuke ends up flipping NJD right here, and he keeps pushing him, and NJD ends up getting a huge wheelie, and Bean passes him. You can see NJD doing the wheelie there. Right here, Cookie, I'm passing Suzuki because I'm lapping him too, and I ended up pushing him out of bounds too, so I killed 2 people this tournament, which was, I felt bad for. But positions for this one were Whiskey Worm, Cookie Monster, Bean, Nuked Ice Cream, NJD, Tripmine 413, AYM Xfamacity, Wasted Duckling 9, OD Suzuki, and Lukey Wood 08. In this one, Whiskey Worm waited for about a minute before Wasted Duckling got there, and then almost another whole minute for OD Suzuki and Lukey Wood to finish, because they were both like an entire lap behind because I killed them both. Definitely not my fault. But it is kind of fun. Obviously it would be, I don't want to use maps where people die all the time, but it is kind of fun and funny once in a while when people, you know, die, because it's just funny. You know, that's the ultimate DRL, I think, is when you kill someone. But this next map was Cromulent SX by X-Rains, and this map was really good for DRLing. This was the first Supercross track we ever used in the DRL, and this it actually worked out pretty well. You know, so we've used a few Supercross tracks since. I believe we used 2 in this tournament. You'll see another one as the 6th map. This is the 4th here. But this one worked out pretty well. You'll see some crazy highlights in this one. Right here, I end up taking Whiskey and Bean into a wall at the very end of the lap. I end up screwing, I think, myself and Bean up pretty badly. But right here, NJD kind of destroys Tripmine on the exact same turn and messes Tripmine up. I think it was right after we went through. Right here, Bean flips himself and lets AYM and Suzuki pass. And then AYM did a 180 on the jump and let Suzuki pass him. Right here, Lukey Wood destroys Bean. As you can see on the berm there, that was just crazy. Right here, Wasted Duckling and Whiskey Worm are going at it. And Wasted DRL's Whiskey Worm. And right there, Wasted flipped, and he ended up letting Whiskey pass him because he was behind. But right here, you will see our best racer get DRL'd by our worst racer. He's not actually, I don't think, our worst racer, but he considers himself to be. That was just crazy. And right here, Nuked ends up destroying Lukey on the same berm. Lukey destroyed Bean, so I guess that was karma. But in this one, the positions were... Oh, I guess it just... it showed the positions briefly, but I don't know why it didn't last longer. Sorry about that. But anyways, Whiskey Worm ended up only beating Wasted Duckling by 1 position, and Wasted Duckling got like 5th, which was a new record for him. While I'm recording this, it shows the fact that it only showed for like 2 seconds the positions. So I'll go back and edit that before I actually upload this video. I'll change it and make sure the positions show for like 20 seconds like normal. That's the only reason I'm not reading them. But I'm sorry, I would redo this whole audio, but I'm like 10 minutes through it, and you know, I've been really busy, and this is already far overdue, so I don't think it's a big enough deal to redo like 10 minutes of audio. 11 minutes. This next map was Exodus by Whiskey Worm. This was the 5th map, and this was a great track. Definitely a lot of fun. Only the 2nd Exile map I've ever even seen, besides my own Misty Peaks, which was the first Halo 3 style map on Halo 4. This was a fun map, definitely. Really cool map for Exile, again, more intricate than mine, kind of similar on Meltdown. Right there, the first thing you can see is Suzuki fails to take out NJD, who breaks, and he flies into a wall. And then, right here, Whiskey gets a sweet pass on NJD, which you'll see for first place. Right there, you can see Whiskey Worm just took like a nice pass. They were about to lap people, that's why it looks like they're in like 2nd and 3rd. Right here, Lukey fails to take out NJD kind of on like the same turn, which is funny. And then right here you can see coming flipping through the cave was Wasted Duckling, of course. There wasn't many highlights on this one, unfortunately, but it still was a fun map, I'm not going to lie. This was Whiskey Worm in first, then NJD, AYM, Bean, Cookie, Nuked Ice Cream, Trip Mine, Wasted Duckling, Lukey Wood, and OD Suzuki. Bean, I had Bean past me, and then I couldn't catch up with him for like 5 straight laps. I was trying to my hardest, and I just could not catch up with Bean. This was his first tournament, along with Lukey Wood and OD Suzuki, and you know, he was a great racer, especially for his first tournament. You'll often see that the people who it's their first tournament, they'll get, you know, close to the bottom in every race. But in future tournaments, they usually end up, you know, getting a lot better. And you can see, you know, great improvement. And I love that. So if you do bad in your first tournament, if you join this squad, which you can do on HaloTracks.org, you just go to the forums, HT Squads, HT DRL, and sign up in the members list, and then sign up for tournaments. But don't be discouraged if you do bad in your first one. This last map here, though, was Filthy Park SX, also by X-Rains, the 2nd SX track we used. This one was also very successful. Lots of DRLing on this one. You know, even more so than like Exodus, the map we just played. And so Supercross tracks are definitely competitive and good for dirty racing. So I throw them in there once in a while. Not all the time, I prefer terrain, but... right here, you can see Nuked fails to take out Trip Mine and ends up flying over the berm, which is not the only time Nuked Ice Cream does that in this tournament. Right here, Trip Mine flips, and Cookie tries to wreck him and ends up flipping, and then Nuke ends up landing on Cookie's head and flips, so it was just kind of chaotic. Right there, I'm going, and that you kind of cut off where Nuked flips. Right here, I take out Nuked off the berm, and that's the 2nd time Nuke goes off the berm. Right here, probably my favorite highlight so far in all the tournaments. Wasted Duckling overshoots the jump. He flies over the wall. And here's from the bottom angle. He misses the checkpoint because he doesn't do the last turn before the checkpoint. He flew over the wall trying to pass Whiskey Worm. Oh, man. Right here, Nuke passes Lukey Wood on the very last turn to get a very clutch pass for a better position. We wait for a while at the end for Suzuki and Wasted Duckling because they both fell very far behind. But the positions for this last one were AYM in first, then Bean, NJD, Trip Mine, Whiskey Worm, Cookie Monster, Nuked Ice Cream, Lukey Wood, Suzuki, and Wasted Duckling in 10th. But this was a great tournament, a lot of fun. I apologize for a few flaws in the highlight video itself. I kind of had to rush this one. I've been so busy, so I apologize for you know, some unprofessionalism with me messing up the clips a little bit there. But the final results for this one were Whiskey Worm, NJD, Tripmine, AYM, Cookie Monster, Bean, Nuked, Wasted, Lukey Wood, and OD Suzuki. But Tripmine and AYM tied, and Cookie Monster and Bean also tied. You can see the points next to them. The way the point system works is first place always gets 16. Each place below that gets 1 less. And then we add them all up for every race. But please sign up on HaloTracks.org. I would love to see more racers. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day.